live?
It looks like we're live.
All right. We are alive and well. We are here. Today is Sunday, September something. What is it, the 29th?
29th.
All right, Pete, here we are. We got the SMT podcast, the Sunday night edition. This is the podcast where me and Pete basically have dialogue and there's the notifications. All right, they're coming out.
Yep.
Yeah, this is just where me and Pete do a little dialogue thing, and we talk to the Sneedles and the SMT Nation.
Yep.
And Pete gets to wear awesome shirts, you know. Big shout out to Assad's Bakery. Pete got the shirt on. All right.
If in Cleveland, try the beef shawarma.
It's so good, man. So good. I'm trying to cut down on the beef, but the chicken will do.
And if you end up moving there, make sure you buy enough and tell them goat's better.
Hey, man, get a Billy Goat Gruff sandwich, you know?
Oh, man, you're making me hungry.
Come here, Yasmin. You going to go to sleep? Yeah? You want to say hi to everybody real quick? Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. That's where all your super chats.
Take care of me. It's good to see you. All right, here's what we're doing, Pete. We are going to talk about the newest news out of the merger, and I guess actually it's more so out of T-Mobile because it's their money.
Hey, this is actually kind of weird. This is actually kind of weird. Generally, they're good at what they haven't been doing.
Yeah, I've never. So we caught wind of this about a month ago, and I did a video on it. There's a lot to unpack. Let's do roll call first, and then we'll start, discussing the news. We'll just identify everything, and then we'll kind of dissect it.
Yep.
All right. So we have Maverick F14 Tomcat. He's here.
That sounds like some type of airplane or F1 car.
We got Jessica Fuller's in the house. Good to have you on. Maverick's got this comment right there. Agreed. Max Finley is here. Good to have you on. The Chungus is among us. He's here. Angel Hernandez is here. Good to have you on. Glad you could be here. Sharon is here.
I need to get better at pronouncing things.
I'm guessing Sharon, we got Rafi. Rafi's got the big wrench. Y'all be careful out there. Keep it in line, please. Rafi is here. He's got moderating duties tonight. Oscar Frederico Jr. is here. What's up, Travis? Good to have you on. Danielle, good to have you on as well from Florida. What's up, Sean? Good to have you on, buddy. Friend of the show. Thanks for being here, pal. Master Bill finally made it on, man. Shot 9 ball and kick butt. Hope you won some money. There's a shout out to you, Pete.
Yep.
What's up, Paulie? All righty. Piggy Giraffes is in the house. Ruth is here. Good to have you on. Sean Mason is in the house. Yeah, just did, man. Had to do it. She got to go to sleep. Super chats are welcome tonight, as always. Appreciate the considerations in advance. Alan Dubb, good to have you on, bud. Scott is here. Gregorio, good to have you on, buddy. Thank you for being here. DeAndre, glad you can make it tonight. All right, what's up, Thomas? Yes, the Chungus is among us, indeed. Ronald, good to have you on. Newest member of the Patreon community. Salute. We got Aaron
from Arizona. From Arizona.
Yeah, from Arizona. What's up, Totally Techno Tim? What's next, bro? What's happening? Hey, man. Cologne Jr.'s here. Gary's in the house. Pete the big man, yeah. And Matt Dubb is here. All right, we got everybody in the live. We got 52 watching, Pete.
Sunday night.
I know, man. On a Sunday, we're already kicking butt.
Go Bears.
All right, so we'll make this the official start of the podcast. Want to thank you guys for being here. As you're coming in, do say hello. And also make sure you hit that like button, help the video get some traction in the YouTube algorithms. Kind of hard dealing with the algorithm. Get some traction and hit it running. What's up, Mikey Tech Reviews? Good to have you on.
I've heard about that service. It's actually tempting.
Yeah, sounds intriguing, as they say. What's up, Martin? What's up, M. Garcia? The Brownies did it, man. They pulled off a big win tonight, man. It was awesome. They played great. Nick Chubb taking care of business. Baker,
we also have
looking too good.
We also have Thomas Phillips.
Oh, we missed Tom? Where's Big Tom? Okay, Thomas. Hopefully Thomas is not watching in 144p.
Yeah.
Maybe if he didn't have, that horrible reception wherever he's living, man. 144p? Sheesh. Why is AT&T getting rid of DirecTV? Because it's losing money? I mean, they probably can't get rid of it as it is. They got to figure something out, man.
Might have to bundle Time Warner in there.
What do I think of the revamped Samsung Fold? It's not for the average consumer. It's not for you. It's not for me. It's
gonna crack.
Bro, it's taking L's, bro. I'm just not a fan. It's too delicate. It's not for everyday use. It's a test device. It's a beta testing device. Anyways, Pete, why are we here tonight? What are we going to talk about? Tell them.
Well, we had a giveaway, and I found a winner.
Nice.
We T-Mobile's doing something uncharacteristic, and complaining about ISPs as usual.
I mean, I had a problem with my ISP these last couple of days. My internet, you guys know, has been a serious problem. And apparently there was a rotting wire, coax cable getting into my house. And that's what has been causing me the issues.
Wait. Like, rotting?
Yes, that is exactly how he described it. A rotting wire.
Andy?
A rotting wire, yes. I asked him if the Gophers were back, if they were up in there just chewing on stuff,
Are they using substandard copper?
I don't know, man. He replaced it. He upgraded the cable, and I guess all is well. Everything's good. No fallouts, no disconnects, no nothing.
Dude, I told you I should have looked around your house and kicked the foundation.
Lavendi, I wish I could help you, Lavendi. It's just not happening. Tonight's a T-Mobile night.
Hey, we can throw in some Verizon and AT&T if they like.
Yeah, we are actually, if you think about it, because we're going to be talking about network build-outs and future positioning. So, yeah, we actually will.
Yep.
All right, so Pete, let me cover the news and like the most of the details, and then we can kind of, go back and forth on it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, Pete's chilling, drinking the Vernors. All right. So, essentially, here's the situation. T-Mobile's done a really good job of building out the network over the last several years. They had this really, really nice roaming agreement with AT&T that had them covered nationally in terms of a roaming agreement. It was great. It was excellent. As that started to kind of phase out, they had to figure something out. They had to deploy spectrum in a way that could get them covered to replace what they were doing with the AT&T roaming agreement. So they had to go native. They had to build out their own. So that's what they have been doing with 600 and 700 megahertz. So it started with 700. Now they're focusing on 600 and 700, mostly 600. So it's been great. The last year and a half especially has been really good. Pete, you just took a cross-country trip, and you told me coverage was very good.
Except for this Motel 6 in Murad, Southern Dakota. Murad, that needs to be stepped up.
So, all right. The network has been improving greatly. A lot of customers are very satisfied. A lot of people that have been transitioning from other carriers are very pleased. And the network gets better and better as they invest into those infrastructures and those bands. Now, here's where this is going. Currently, T-Mobile is kind of sort of at a standstill when it comes to network deployment. Officially, officially, we have confirmation that T-Mobile has contacted vendors and tower installers, and they have told them to pause. And the reason they have told them to pause is because spending has to actually be terminated for now. And
Yeah.
as of right now, it's indefinite. Like, we don't have any type of like date where things will reconvene. And there's only one reason why, and that's because of the merger.
Yep.
If the merger had a closing date, if the merger had if it was predictable and we knew exactly, bless you, and we knew exactly what was going to happen, T-Mobile could tell those vendors, tell the hardware salespeople, tell the installers, hey, we need till January 15th, we need till February 15th, and then let's reconvene. Let's get the contracts back up and coming. Your guys' money is coming. Everything will be great. Here's the problem, though, Pete. They actually owe people money right now, and they can't give it to them. So that looks bad. Number one, it's bad business.
It's bad for their credit.
I mean, here's what I will say, though. This has never happened to T-Mobile before.
No, it has not. Generally, they're like, okay, we're expecting this much work. We're expecting it's going to take you this much time. We're expecting this many men on it. We're expecting each of them to take this much. And they give a reasonable portion at the beginning, and midway through they finish off the the expected spending, and it generally lines up correctly. I have a friend who has an uncle who works as a union rep for one of the unions T-Mobile deals with. They're more reliable than Mobile most of the time.
You know, I looked everywhere, and I don't see any precedents. I don't see a situation where T-Mobile, screwed over a tower installer or a vendor of equipment. It's never happened.
This is unprecedented.
Yes, this is 100% unprecedented. And I think this tells you the situation that maybe T-Mobile is emphasizing the need for the merger. It's bless you. This is a very, very possible that T-Mobile is going to say the merger block, the merger holdup, this whole court process has put us in a position where our money is locked up, and we literally cannot compete unless you free up the merger, allow it to proceed, and we can compete with T-Mobile or as the new T-Mobile against AT&T and Verizon. And we're going to keep Dish afloat, and we're going to help them get along and whatever else there is there. But here's the pain point in all of this. T-Mobile was doing everything correctly over the last couple of years. They've been building out their network independently, all on their own. That $8.5 to $9 billion annually in capex has been very good for them.
Oh yeah.
Now they've allocated money for future investment to the tune of $26 billion for this merger, plus an additional $20 to $30 billion in network integration over the next 3 years.
You actually bring up another complexity with what's happening with these towers. If the merger doesn't happen, they have to rethink their hardware deployment on these sites, because the towers up until the merger hit a stall had hardware that could be turned on with a software update to allow for broadcasting Sprint spectrum. Not sure what's happening with that spectrum. Have to rethink the equipment. Have to rethink the deployment. You may end up having to say, okay, we wanted this tower here, but since we cannot use Sprint spectrum, it would be better to move it 3 miles that way because we're using low band frequency.
I look at the network expenditure, Pete, and T-Mobile's kind of been around that 8 to 9 billion range annually.
Yep.
Obviously, this was going to ramp up. This clearly implicates Deutsche Telekom. They were going to be pushing along a lot of the funding here. The 26 billion plus the additional 10 billion on top over the course of the next year, and then the 10 or 12 billion for the next 2 years. So 40, 50. I mean, this is in the next 3 years, we're talking $60 billion.
Yep.
Deutsche Telekom was going to be forking over this money. T-Mobile doesn't have it. It's just, and actually Verizon doesn't have it. Verizon could fork over 20, 25. I mean, who could? AT&T wouldn't fork over 60 billion. You know what I'm saying? It just wouldn't happen. They have it, but they wouldn't. So like, it's a lot of money. So much money. But like, what the new T-Mobile network would be in 2022, in 2023 would be amazing. So, this is a huge setback. I think we're both in agreement. With or without the merger, T-Mobile has tied its hands at this point. They have been forced to not spend any more through 2019. They have been forced to retract spending through 2020. I don't know how long, Pete. We don't know if it's January, February, March. We have no idea.
They also need to refocus spending to keep lawyers on retainer until there's a definitive this is never going to happen.
Yeah, I see the two sides of this. I see Deutsche Telekom saying this is really becoming awful. Our company's not going to grow. Right? They've got 65% of this company, 63%.
Yep.
Okay, they're going to say our company cannot grow. They've been growing and now they can't. How's T-Mobile not going to have network upgrades for 5 to 6 months? Because if you count it, that's September, right? Because that's when the story broke 3 weeks ago. September, October, November, December. That's 4 months in 19. I don't know how long it's going to be through 2020, but maybe quarter one. So that makes it 6 to 7 months, bro, of no network deployment other than the maintenance stuff and the emergency stuff. Bad, man, bad. And now is the time. AT&T is going, like, seriously, pedal to the metal on 5G. AT&T is all infrastructure right now. Did you see the Verizon video I did yesterday?
Yeah, I'm happy they're finally listening to a edge deployment recommendation for load balancing that came out of Bell Labs.
It's pretty awesome that, Verizon's finally going a new school with a lot of their new tech. Big shout out to the 100 that are watching this in the live. Thank you guys for being here. Do say hello in the live chat, and if you are able to, go ahead and like this video and help it hit the algorithms running.
So the new tech. There have been hundreds of peer reviews on the underlying algorithm, and actually it's so ubiquitous I had to read it in an undergrad algorithms course as part of a homework assignment. It's some good data. Some good what's that word? Infrastructure layout for this type of stuff.
Michael, I will kind of address your comment there. It's a good one. T-Mobile still has 600 megahertz LTE and 600 megahertz 5G lighting up everywhere. I work for T-Mobile. We have 40 sites going live in my market in the next 7 days.
Hey, Michael, are they paying you?
Because here's the thing, like the 600 megahertz LTE is live. The 600 megahertz 5G is not live. So I don't know what you're really talking about there. There's no 600 megahertz devices that are compatible with 5G. So the LTE, yes. The 5G is no.
At least most of the public can enjoy their fallback frequency for LTE.
Right. Yeah, it sucks. I agree, Jason. How come we only got 37 likes? Let's get the likes up. That's a good question.
We're at 46.
Tim Man, what's going on, buddy? Says, wonder when T-Mobile plans to shut down 2G. Thought it was next year.
2G in within 150 miles of me on T-Mobile. I get fullbacks to 3.5G. But I get 2G anywhere.
Actually, Lavendi, I think your comment there is 50% correct, 50% misguided. All right. So the first part, you're 100% right. AT&T will be way past T-Mobile and way past Verizon. Verizon's approach is flawed. They're going to be – bro, Verizon is literally going to put 1 million 5G nodes across the country.
Well, they have to. They can only put one every – they need to put one every quarter block.
Right. And here's the thing, Lavendi. How do you think Verizon got to where it is today? You think Verizon organically built out their network, or did they purchase 5,000 regional carriers? Now, I mean, it's exaggerating, but they bought my regional carrier. They bought Alltel, right? They bought all these. These are mergers and acquisitions. Verizon didn't do it organically. It's not their native network. It became their native network when they purchased them. But this merger is the same thing that AT&T did every step of the way. It's the same thing that Verizon did every step of the way. You call it greed, but call it like it is then. Call it like it is. Verizon has been the greediest. AT&T, actually, probably even more so. The Note 10 5G is millimeter wave for Verizon. It's going to be mid-band for Sprint, and it will be low-band for AT&T and T-Mobile.
Oh, good. T-Mobile needs to step away from that millimeter wave 5G.
T-Mobile just did it just to do it, bro.
They put it out just to say, hey, we can put it out.
Captain MC is in the house. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. T-Mobile must stop this or I'm switching to AT&T. Either like, that's enough of this, man. I'm done, man. I'm checking out.
Now I'm curious if Captain has actually tried T-Mobile's customer care.
It's really good, bro. It's really, really good. You got a shout out there from Randy Pete.
I know. I said hi back.
What's up, Sean? Good to have you on. No devices that support it yet, but the towers are going live. They'll be ready when the new Snapdragon chip launches that supports it. There we go. All right, so quarter four. We are expecting it quarter four, so that puts us a few weeks away, Pete.
We'll get them in January.
Oh man, really?
Oh man,
I thought we were going to see a quarter four.
Quarter four goes until quarter four includes January and February. Quarter four ends end of March.
Hey Pete, Greg A says Verizon got that bread, bro. Verizon got so much money, man. Like they're so profitable.
If Sprint ends up having their spectrum auctioned off, the best T-Mobile can do is raise the price on the spectrum.
See, here's the problem, Pete. Look at this. So Timothy Ball says he works for T-Mobile, and then Michael, the guy who commented previously, also said that they work for T-Mobile. They're saying different things.
They work. They didn't say they work for T-Mobile. They said they.
Pete, it says I'm a T-Mobile employee.
Oh, I thought Michael said he was a contract worker.
No, I think he says I'm also an employee for T-Mobile too.
Michael Sterkland, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you a T-Mobile direct employee?
And if that's the case, Pete, we have different information from two people.
So. Hey, it might be based on market.
What's up, Obed? Good to have you on. T-Mobile should just walk away. They're screwed now because of the Sprint investigation. I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, it looks bad. I don't know if it's time to completely panic on that. It looks terrible. Agreed. But I think in a way it kind of highlights the need for Sprint to go away. I don't know. Maybe the judges see it my way. What's up, Rockstar? AT&T and Verizon are still trash here. I wonder where they are really improving. They're improving in the CLE. I could tell you that coverage is really good here. I've complained to T-Mobile's customer care way too many times. There's not much they can do. Must be a bad market.
Yeah.
T-Mobile isn't doing any upgrades. My area isn't doing any better. Maybe worse than it is already. That's pretty sad to see. What's up, Jacob? Good to have you on. Craig says millimeter wave is faster but easily blocked. Low band is slower but actually reliable. And actually, the thing about millimeter wave and like low band, for example, it makes sense to have millimeter wave in cities where there's like 5 to 10 million people hanging around, like New York City, like Chicago, like it's a lot of people. So if you put 5G nodes around the area that are millimeter wave compatible, it makes total sense. Right?
So, did we get to Carlos's super chat?
Working my way down there here. Angel, he likes customer service from T-Mobile. Carlos S., thank you for the super chat. T-Mobile customer care is good, but not worth network coverage gap. So he's basically saying, I like the customer care. I like my coverage more.
This is why the merger needs to happen, so we can have 2 or 3 carriers in one location, not one.
Pete, if we get the merger, we get the network and we get the customer care.
Oh, man.
See what I'm saying? See, we don't get the customer care from Verizon or AT&T.
You can roll that 1G and 2G up into 4G and 5G. It will be amazing.
Kind of off-topic question. If you could get any plan for free, what plan would you get? I would get the Sprint 3G plan because I wouldn't want to pay for it. So might as well give it to me for free.
Ooh, any plan for free? What's
the best plan from AT&T?
I don't know, but there's this enterprise-grade plan from Rogers that will give you roaming on T-Mobile, Sprint, and Verizon for $100 and something per line. Probably go with that one.
Gary Davis is here. Good to have you on. Does all this mean towers? Yeah.
Yeah.
600 megahertz 5G is not the same speeds as millimeter wave, but will still be. I don't. Where the hell are you going to get 400 to 600 on low band? No way.
Carrier aggregation.
Pete, that would be like at least 4 or 5 carriers.
You'll cap out at around 85 per carrier. So
yeah, you need 7 or 8 carrier aggregation to get to that. It's not happening.
It could.
Bro, you're going to have to aggregate with other bands, though. You're not going to be able to aggregate with 71. You're going to have to aggregate with 66. You're going to have to aggregate. I mean, that's a lot of aggregation, actually. We don't even have devices that can do that.
Nope. But, hey, it's a good future goal.
I would like to see. I want to see T-Mobile with legit mid-band. I like the low band. Don't get me wrong, Pete. But I want to see them with mid-band. I'm not putting down low band. I know what mid-band can do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Michael, if you could maybe let us know what market that is. Unlock Custom Droid, good to have you on, brother. Jay Brown, what's happening? We need 5G on highways?
Kinda.
Low band. I mean, you don't need capacity on freeways, do you?
No, you only need enough for calls and maybe maps.
Tim, man, my understanding of the situation is all network build out is on hold. That's my understanding of it. That means yes to your statement. It sucks, bro, because Pete, the last 2 years have been great for T-Mobile when it comes to Band 71.
It's great. I just wish they had more bands to deploy.
Yeah, AT&T's got like a crazy portfolio of spectrum, man.
As Sprint and Verizon.
What, Sprint? Okay, so Verizon has 2, 4, 5, 66 kind of, and 13, right?
That's a good
national.
argument.
Okay, and then AT&T's got 2, 4,
14.
5, 12, 14, 17, 66. Like, it's crazy. The portfolio is bonkers nationally. Like, and the 14's the big one, Pete, because they're upgrading those sites.
Yep.
They're going to be software ready for 5G.
And Sprint has a bunch of national bands, most of which are, sub 3G, but they're national.
Yeah. Unlock custom droid. You in Vegas, right? I hear T-Mobile's not bad in Vegas.
I hear it's better than it is here.
Sprint is really good in Arizona. Hopefully T-Mobile and Sprint can get this hiccup fixed. The out of this world. PS 5G towers are going up like crazy. I can't wait for people to start getting connected to the networks, man.
Yeah, then they can figure out where Verizon pulls an AT&T and where it doesn't.
Yeah, this is the sad truth right here. T-Mobile has the spectrum, but they don't have the money.
Sprint has the spectrum, but they don't have the money.
Which carrier do you have, Greg A, that you can let us know how the performance is of that carrier in New York City? Hey, Sneed, I've got an iPhone XS Max. Is there any way to unlock the eSIM so I can run Sprint and T-Mobile until the merger is complete? T-Mobile will do an eSIM in there.
Walk into the
Sprint won't do
T-Mobile
it.
store, talk to them.
Yeah, T-Mobile will give you an eSIM, and then you could put a Sprint SIM card in there. Both are the same people. I don't think both sub or work for T-Mobile. Public info they gave us. Oh. So they're lying? Is what you're saying? That the newer phones will work on T-Mobile's network. Yeah, I mean, they're all going to be unlocked, so, Tell me an email to send you a screenshot of the towers that are going live. I don't need that, bro. I just need to know the market, like the city,
I can do it with towers.
Yeah. Oceanic Vibes is here. When I worked at Sprint, I hated my free line. I never got calls or texts. Oh, God.
Send that picture to that email.
All right, what else we got here? We got
Greg's on Metro, apparently.
Metro. All right, Freaky Giraffe says we got 115. All right, 124 is what I got. All right, good to have you guys on. Glad you could be here. Thank you for watching the SMT podcast. Big shout out to all of my moderators, all the viewers, the subscribers. Thank you for being here and joining me and Pete as we discuss the news of the night, which is T-Mobile putting a pause on all network buildouts. It's
I'm disappointed. I like network buildouts.
It takes away the competition of the market when you basically force a carrier into a situation where they can't pay for their network build. And they're kind of at a standstill. It sucks. What's up, Nathan? Good to have you on. Gonna upgrade my phone when Apple implements 5G in their phones. That time I'm just gonna switch to whichever carrier has the best 5G by then. Rooting for T-Mobile. I think it's gonna be AT&T, my dude.
What type of phone do you have now, Nathan?
It looks like he probably has an iPhone.
Well, what model iPhone? Some of them are probably going to be thrown obsolete before that happens.
Yeah. What's up, Randy? Good to have you on. The other Randy. We got a couple Randys in here.
It's Randy P.
Yeah. Verizon is only big because they purchased multiple companies. They need to allow the Sprint T-Mobile merger. It's true, man. They acquired so many regional carriers, Georgia market. Okay, well, if you got any specific cities, that would be great. Georgia is a state, but What's up, Walter Scott? Good to have you on. City highways with traffic. I'm in traffic and I'm forcing 4G. Ugh. It must be booting them into 3G.
Well, he's on Metro.
Sneed, you can only blame Sprint for its own misgivings. Your IP. Good?
Makes me burp.
Blame T-Mobile for putting all its eggs in one basket. According to some people, T-Mobile was doing great prior to this. They were, but I mean, they couldn't do anything 5G, you know?
They actually have their eggs in two baskets.
Well, they're ready for any type of mid-band auctions. So
Yep. The issue with the tower is the uncertainty. If we knew what was happening with the merger, they could go, okay, we have to build out this way rather than this way. The current build out plan that they put a pause to was assuming the merger would actually go through due to the support from the government agencies, the antitrust and the FCC. So they hedged their bets in the wrong direction.
Alan Dubb, the Dish Network spectrum requirement, I think the end of the line is March 2020. So they're going to have to, if the merger falls through, they legit have like 2 months to find somebody to buy them, literally. Or they have to get an extension or something. Or they have to build out the network, which they don't have money. AT&T has banned 30 and 29. I wonder if that's national, though. Is it? Not sure. Adventures with Jordy says, will T-Mobile eventually be the new Sprint?
No, they don't hoard their spectrum.
Yeah, I don't think that wouldn't be the correct way to view it. It's the new T-Mobile will be the new T-Mobile. It'll just be a T-Mobile on steroids. What's up, Carlos, man? Thank you for the super chat. Midband is king for speed. Been testing it. Dallas, it's amazing all over town. Works well with Phoenix. Verizon 5G drops. Yeah, we've seen millimeter wave really suck, and we've seen good reports actually from Sprint. The problem is, Pete, everybody thinks it's all about speed, so they're like, yeah, Sprint's getting like 400, 600, 700 megabits per second, but Verizon's getting 1.2 gigs, so it's better. But like,
yeah, but if you tilt your head while you're on the phone, you get thrown into 3G.
Yeah, but it bounces you so frequently out of 5G. It's
your battery's dead before you can download that video.
Oh man. T-Mobile has the most bands.
I haven't seen 257 and 261.
What are those? I've never heard of those. 2, 4, 5, 12, 6, 6. Yeah. What is 257 and 261?
Let me hit up some Google.
Is that millimeter wave? Is that what they're going to use? But that's not national. So like, I mean, what's the point of emphasizing that? T-Mobile sucks in Vegas. I'm from Vegas. Data speeds tanked hard when Sprint faster now. Okay, well, good to know. Anybody out there in Vegas? Caitlin's here. A little bit of politics in there. T-Mobile better be good in Vegas because they have their name on the stadium. T-Mobile Arena, man. That's true.
Band 257 is 28 gigahertz. That is millimeter.
Well, nerds, to be honest with you, yeah, it would make sense for there to be a couple of nodes here and there at some heavily, visited locations. But, how much would you need to see? I'm in an area where I live. It's not good. It slows down a lot. So it's congestion issues in Vegas. Go ahead and send that info over to Pete. Sorry about that, Ronald. Hopefully it worked out. I think I was getting some static there. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Took pictures of Verizon's 5G towers here in town. What market is that, Robert? What's the market?
New York.
New York? Yeah, they got 5G out there. What's going to happen to Boost Mobile? Well, with the merger, they stay Boost Mobile, but they're operated by Dish, and they'll be on the T-Mobile network.
Until Dish deploys their network in 3 years, and then they get migrated to Dish.
Caitlin, actually, I think what you want, actually, in this case, is because Sprint, because of the situation with Lifeline, maybe you're questioning their credibility and their authenticity and their legitimacy. You probably want them out of the market. So Dish replacing them actually sounds like an upgrade. Like, I don't agree that it's an upgrade. I'm just saying, like, if you're looking at it with your perspective, having them gone actually makes total sense.
Robert is actually in Denver, by the way.
Oh, okay. Tech for Your Needs says, does that mean T-Mobile is going to raise the prices? No, not necessarily, actually. T-Mobile actually really tries not to raise pricing. We saw what they did with Netflix, right, Pete?
They give you $10 off now. They didn't raise the price.
They tried so hard to maintain that contract the way it was originally kind of propositioned in a way. And Netflix went up, and they tried, and eventually, I think it was one of the plans, it went up $2.
Ooh.
So they only covered what, $9? So you had to cover the other two if you wanted to have the premium plan. Nathan's got the S10 Plus at the moment. That's what I have. I really like that phone, by the way. Robert, you must be talking about bands that are not LTE, right? Like, because some of those are LTE, but I don't know about 40 and 70.
3G.
I'm talking LTE bands. I'm not really into the other stuff. Thanks, Magic Mike. Appreciate it, man. What's up, bud? Good to have you on. Really would like to know what's going to happen with Boost. Well, we kind of have to wait and see. What do I think about Sprint defrauding the government? It's awful because the FCC kind of assembled the concessions for the merger. Like, they worked with the DOJ and they put the concessions in place, and then it kind of backfired on them. If the merger is approved, then I hope mobile data prices are lowered in general. They're probably not going to lower just due to 5G deployment and expenditure. So I think the days of, the $40 and $50 plans, I think those, they're going by the wayside. Maybe some LT only plans, but if you're going to get access to 5G, T-Mobile is going to try, to build it all in one network. AT&T wants to charge you for 5G. Verizon wants to charge you for 5G. Sprint wants to charge you for 5G.
AT&T is already charging you for 5G.
Yeah, millimeter wave. Do you think this will make T-Mobile raise prices? Not necessarily. No. They're not.
Bill would go up,
but they've been deploying Band 71 for 2 years, and pricing hasn't done anything. How much was your bill 2 years ago, Pete?
$40 more than it is today.
So why would it necessarily go up then?
It could even out.
How much are taxes and fees for Verizon? On a $300 bill, about 20 or 30 bucks. Sucks. This is only okay. What do we got going on here? Ohmtown Custom PC like to know. Didn't I just see this guy? You got two like names or something? What is going on there? 70 is NR. Okay, gotcha. Caitlin says T-Mobile Sprint in the super some people's data now to get sued for fraud. I don't really know what that means.
By the way, the contracts or the usage agreements you sign do say that they may allow advertisers to use your location data to pinpoint ads within apps. So you've technically agreed to it.
Looks like Unlock Custom Droid and Carlos are from the same region. It may recognize them. That's pretty cool. Got the T-Mobile test drive a month ago. Ended 2 days ago. Still works just fine. I got it just for the internet for a month and get to use it still. Do you know of any similar reports? That's interesting, Pete.
How's the coverage with the test drive unit?
Is it any good?
I'm not asking about speed. I'm asking about coverage.
Coverage, right? AT&T 4 lines for 100 unthrottled. Where they do that?
It's cheaper than what I'm paying.
Maverick says Sprint is phenomenal in Texas. Market is fantastic. Dallas, Fort Worth, AT&T and Verizon are king, but although T-Mobile has coverage, it lacks in performance. I think in some cases, Pete, T-Mobile's got like congestion issues. Like a lot of people in the market, and then they have to support it. They've got to add support. And
I'm getting that in Boulder.
Really?
Yeah. Which is good and bad. I think part of the issue is how reliant Sprint is being on their frequencies.
Yeah, but Sprint's only using 3G though.
Yeah, but if you want LTE, you got to roam on T-Mobile.
It's crazy because now that I've been using T-Mobile for a couple of weeks, in the same locations, depending on the time of the day, I'll see 130 megabits or I'll see 30 megabits. Like at the airport, for example, when I drive by the airport.
I have the same situation.
Right. I feel like the swings are pretty wild. And one option is to add some small cells. The other option is to just bolster the market with spectrum. Throw some more megahertz at it.
You could also increase the wattage, but that requires some more FCC approval than the alternatives.
Right. Wow. And I don't know. T-Mobile seems content adding small cells.
They do it a lot.
Yeah. Code says, I want good speeds inside buildings. Then, I don't know, man. You got to find an area that's got, like, good low-band spectrum, T-Vision. Wow, Pete, we haven't talked about T-Vision in a while, man.
T-Mobile lowering T-Vision's price would be good. They haven't
Pete,
had...
do you remember how much they're at?
If you're not a T-Mobile customer, they're charging $100.
And if you are, I think it's 90.
90. At the moment, I'm paying 93, including HBO. But I have a plan that has been grandfathered for more than 2 years.
I can tell you guys that based on the data that I'm finding, people are paying over $100 a month for TV. I think that's crazy, Pete. They're saying average cost for a TV plan, like cable TV, paid TV, is like 106.
That is pretty average.
That's so much money, man.
T-Mobile also uses LAA.
It's really fast, Pete.
Yep. I never encounter it.
My dude Ciova is in the house. Good to have you on, bro. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Oh, Michael Sterkland actually emailed me. A lot of those towers are getting ready to replace ISP services, or at least compete with them. So home internet may be coming to Georgia at some point in the future.
I know that's what they want to do. They're in certain parts of Georgia. Maybe it's expanding.
Yeah.
I heard Sprint wants to change their name. I haven't heard any of that news.
I don't know if changing Sprint's name would help with some of their issues.
You got to do more than change your name if you've been taking money from the Lifeline program for so long. Do you guys believe that T-Mobile is in bad shape? Should I get out of their stock market? No, because, I mean, they can only go up from here. You got to keep in mind, Pete, you know the numbers. Every quarter for the last 26 quarters.
At least 800,000 ads.
No, at least 1 million.
No, I'm including this recent quarter. At least 800,000 net.
But that's predicted.
Yes.
We have to wait and see. I'm thinking it's going to be close, but no cigar. 800, 850K. So
800K is nothing to shake a stick at.
Who's getting 800K? Any other
AT&T
carrier?
lost more people on DirecTV than that.
That's true. They lost 1 million. So to give you guys perspective, Verizon is estimated to add 250,000 subs this quarter. AT&T is estimated to add like 150,000 subs. And then Sprint is estimated to lose 230,000 subs. You can combine all those people, and T-Mobile's still adding more. All those combined. So the action is still at T-Mobile. So to answer your question, Roscoe, T-Mobile's the only company showing real growth for now. If you want to invest in AT&T and Verizon, you're going all in on their 5G. But if you're going in on the current marketplace, you're going in on T-Mobile.
Yep.
Greg's got the 4 lines for 100 on Metro. Coverage is decent, 3 to 4 bars. Once I go inside, 1 to 2, kind of weak in buildings. Sounds like a typical GSM network, honestly.
Maybe T-Mobile can start roaming on Sprint in Dallas Fort Worth. That'd be a good change of pace.
It's a pretty big market, actually, from what I hear. DFW.
Well, it's 2 cities.
Quick question. Is Visible owned directly by Verizon? Yes.
Yep.
Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Visible tries to hide it. They try to pretend like
their
they're
customer
not.
service even tries to hide it.
It's crazy, bro. Like, literally, if you run a speed test, it will say Verizon.
So the fact they're using LTE means whenever you do something, you obtain an IP address. Different MVNOs have different IPs they can assign. When you check the Visible IP, it's a Verizon-owned address.
Yeah.
They cannot hide that no matter what they try.
Bro, this person, B. Davy 69, pays 118 for TV. Fios raised them to 248. What?
What the hell?
Bro, that is straight up thievery. I would have left yesterday.
I would have told them to take the price hike and see them on Highway 61.
Yeah, that is crazy. All right, unlock custom drawer. He ain't into those prices, man. Trying to get them deals. 5G home internet. They're waiting for kind of like a standards-based 5G approach. They're kind of
to convert Sacramento to standards based. Chances are it will still be millimeter wave, and you'll have the snow off your dish.
But Pete, it'll be better. We'll have real standards based equipment mid 2020.
Yep.
So
it's kind of like T-Mobile with T-Vision. They're waiting on infrastructure to change.
I think Danielle's right. We do a lot of spending on wireless. G&G. So I have Verizon also, and I will say that the coverage is excellent, but there's a lot of reasons to not like Verizon, and customer service is one of them. I'd like to refer you to my video from this week on Verizon customer care. It'll really open your eyes about how they treat their customers.
At the moment on T-Mobile, my phone plan is costing me $240 for 8 lines.
240 for 8 lines? That's really good, man.
By doing that, they also dropped my tablet data, upped it to unlimited, and dropped it $5 a month. So the price is good. It just doesn't have the Verizon coverage.
Gene, I just want to let you know that Verizon, they've completed like 30,000 mergers. I'm exaggerating, but they have consumed
only mildly.
They've consumed dozens and dozens of wireless carriers that are regional carriers all across the nation. Everybody thinks their network is so awesome, but it was a collection of acquisitions and mergers. It wasn't really necessarily their build out.
not substantially with that T-Mobile and Sprint thing.
Yeah.
Like, threw up. Well, I did want to say one thing.
What's up, Georgie?
Believe it was. Let me double check who I grabbed. But I think he's in the chat. 1 second. This is actually more than a commenting about week's news. Where is he?
Thanks, Joshua. Appreciate it, man. Greg says Fios is so expensive. It is very pricey. I hear some people get good deals from them, but again, it just kind of depends on the competition in the region. They raised me overnight. Jeez, man. Sorry to hear that.
Oof.
Yeah. Heard the former owner of Boost Mobile made buy the company back. He wants it back. Peter Adderton wants Boost back. But he sold it like, Pete, has it been like 13 years?
Been quite some time.
Well, doesn't he still operate Boost in Australia?
Not sure.
I feel like he's got ties to the company still outside of the US. Could be wrong. TPM, I like your work so well that I donated $5 Friday. Keep up the good work, guys. Thanks. Appreciate the kind words, Michael. Much appreciated, man. And thank you for the donation. I do appreciate that. Yeah, you know what, Gene? A lot of people are happy with Verizon, except when you need customer care.
And when they jack up your price arbitrarily.
Yeah, when you realize that the network is really expensive, and they're not straight up with you.
So my aunt used to be on Verizon. She went over to Optimum Wireless. In 1 month, Verizon arbitrarily doubled her bill for them going over their data bucket by 5 gigs.
Man, I have the same experience as G&G. I'm always on hold forever.
Wait. Did he get hung up on?
It happened twice last week.
Every time I call Verizon, even if I want to give them money, they hang up on me.
Like you could be holding the money. You're like, I have money. No, we're hanging up.
Drop line.
Looks like Michael's got some experience in the game. He's worked for quite a few different carriers there.
So,
all right, Pete, play your prediction. Put your prediction hat on. Put your tinfoil hat on. Merger fails. What happens to Sprint in the next few years?
They'll have 6 months until the FCC tells them they need to build out some spectrum that they've been hoarding for something above 3G. They're going to fill that, and then Verizon's going to buy that in auction. T-Mobile is going to try and use that as leverage to make it so Verizon can only buy up half of their 2.5 gigahertz.
I think
it will only go halfway for T-Mobile.
I think the problem that Sprint's going to face in the next couple of years is the network continues to lag. They do nothing with the mid-band spectrum towards 5G. They'll very minimal rollout.
They'll keep their uploads on 3G.
Yeah, they'll keep everybody at 0.25 megabits per second on upload, and I think eventually they're just looking to sell out. It could be to Dish, it could be to Charter, I don't know. Fill in the blank. Big cable company, just pick one, and that's what they're going to try. And I don't know if it'll be successful. I don't know if it's a guarantee. I'm just saying I know they want out. That's it. Matt Dubb, I've been with Verizon since they bought Alltel. That's how long I've been with them. And yes, they have given me the runaround pretty much every time I call them.
Tom,
Alltel was amazing for customer care. Go ahead, Pete.
Tom says I'm not wearing white. The issue is Sneed said we were wearing the red.
And then I couldn't find my shirt, man.
I'd also like to give a shout out to Robert. He sent me some 5G Verizon cell maps in Denver.
Nice.
Thank you.
Because you can't get them from anywhere else.
Some of them he has pictures of in person.
Sebastian says, can Deutsche Telekom buy Sprint and later merge it with T-Mobile? No.
Kinda.
No, they cannot, Pete.
There are a lot of ifs here. If the FCC would allow them to purchase them as a separate company,
they won't let them have more than 49% of it.
That won't happen. But if it happens, they may have to run them as separate companies and eventually congruently build out the networks. But that would not happen since if DT bought Sprint, it would be the same as T-Mobile US buying Sprint.
Right. What do I think will happen to U.S. Cellular next? I'm hearing Verizon might buy it out. I mean, what advantage does that give Verizon? Does U.S. Cellular have a considerable amount of mid-band?
Nope, they have a lot of CDMA coverage.
Low band.
Yeah. Hey, that might actually allow Verizon to get some coverage in Pennsylvania.
I feel like T-Mobile and Sprint should have kept this merger more private. I mean, how do you keep it private, Pete?
You can't.
It's so high profile. There's court cases involved. Letitia James is making it this huge political mess. I mean, you just can't. I mean, T-Mobile tries to keep everything down low and stuff just gets out.
For Angel Hernandez, what speed are you getting for that price?
Why are Boost Mobile stores in ghetto areas? I know. Just because Verizon consumes others doesn't make it right. It wasn't okay then. It isn't now. The buck should stop here. These mega mergers should be stopped across the board. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Agreed with that also. Yep. As Pete would say, yep.
Yep.
Pete, your opinion. Best MVNO.
Cricket. There's no other carrier that makes me think of a 3-day match. I'm kidding. The best NVMO. Probably visible if you're not throttled in your market.
Yeah, if you're pretty freed up, if it's a strong market for Verizon, I agree.
Yes, Comcast will offer that, but they'll cap you at 20 megs a second.
Which sucks. Robert just sent an email.
No, he didn't. That was a while ago.
Oh, okay.
I'll share it with Sneed later.
Best Verizon support in store on location.
Don't they also charge $20?
That's probably 100% true, Michael. What do you think the prices of phone bills will go up when the T-Mobile merger go through? I don't think T-Mobile's going to go up. They've already said they're not going up for 3 years. So,
and after the 3 years, I have a feeling that the price will increase lower than the rate of inflation,
and probably lower than the other carriers.
But if they could give me true nationwide coverage and reliable speed and good call quality, I wouldn't mind paying an extra $10 a line.
Well, that's pretty good for you, Carlos. I mean, I get mostly USA called, but that's not the problem. The problem is the systems. Verizon employees don't really know how to help their customers. They send you this way and that way, this department, that department. They send you unnecessarily through all these loops and holes.
Ooh, more
honestly, I don't really know too much about that. I know it's a credit card. I know they have some of those offerings, but the whole T-Mobile thing, I mean, it's just a small bank, operating on credit lines,
It's pretty good.
I don't know what the rates are, Pete, or any of that.
But I like brick and mortar banks because I'm a Luddite.
Lavendi says, "You guys think if the merger gets approved in 3 years down the line, your prices aren't going to go up?" No, actually, we do. We say that they will go up after 3 years. They've promised, and you can put that into regulation. That can actually be regulated. There's an expiration date on 3 years, right? So they can follow through, and then the pricing could and probably will go up. I mean, I think it's inevitable. Pricing could go up next year for no reason. Verizon and T-Mobile could both increase their pricing by 6%. Nice.
Because a butterfly decided to fly east instead of west, somewhere in the Sahara.
No, it's because the groundhog saw his shadow, Pete.
No. It's because badgers were going on the towers.
Man.
I'd actually love it if John Ledger complained about price hikes due to badgers on towers.
I want to ask a question out to anybody out there that has Sprint service or has had Sprint in the past. Does Sprint send a lot of its customer care stuff out to India?
I know AT&T uses an Indian firm to make sure the people on their networks actually own their network. And I love them for it. I like the money they give me.
Martin says, I joined Sling, so I guess I'm supporting the third and fourth phone carriers. I guess I went to Blue and added the DVR. All right, yeah. By the time Sprint fails, our socialist friend Bernie or Elizabeth Warren will be in power.
So I'm reading ahead in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Angel Hernandez says the $70 California Lifeline gives you 100 megs up, which is great for California.
Bobox, I agree. AT&T is a strong network. They don't really have major deficiencies in any network. There are some regions where I'm sure coverage is spotty, but they've addressed their capacity, and that first responders first net contract is huge. Which carrier has the best customer service? I think it's T-Mobile, and I don't think it's really close, man.
Since I've had to call customer service for everyone I work with, I have to say T-Mobile.
Pete, looks like Timothy is seeing Verizon dropping rural coverage. I think they're ending a lot of roaming agreements with regional carriers.
They're ending roaming agreements, and they're also sunsetting their 3G coverage in several markets.
Yeah.
They may have forgotten that those areas did not have LTE coverage, and just...
So that means no coverage.
Yep.
That means no connectivity, no call, no nothing.
It means they become like T-Mobile in some markets.
Jeez.
T-Mobile's so good, Verizon is copying them in some places.
All right, so George can confirm customer support in India. Now, the reason that can be an issue, in and of itself, it doesn't matter. It's going to India. The bigger problem, and you could say, okay, American economy and all that, fine.
That doesn't matter.
Right, but the issue is, can they serve the customer effectively?
Now, there is an issue with Verizon and AT&T that I've encountered. If you're calling from a government agency, you could get Indian support.
Well, I mean, but you're not choosing your customer care support representative.
No, but you'd think that if you were working with a government agency, you'd get national support.
Right.
I've had to call Verizon about something happening at CU. He said his name was Michael, but he did not sound like he was from the U.S.
Which, I mean, they
also,
do that all the time.
The people talking in Hindi behind him didn't either.
Oh man, it's kind of funny. You do catch that sometimes from time to time. It's like they'll say like, "Hi, my name is Bob," and like, no, it's not Bob. Come on.
No, it's not Bob.
Like, why don't you just say your regular name, and like we know that you're in India, and who cares? Like, if you can help me, it's all good.
I'm more offended when they tell me a fake name than when I'm calling a different country.
Right.
Although I must say the last 4 customer representatives I've had from T-Mobile came from Texas, Arizona, North Carolina, and Tennessee.
So pretty much everywhere.
Yep. And when I call layer T-Vision, I get Denver.
What is
So
going on? So Corey says, tried helping his 70-year-old parents with Verizon. They never had a PIN. The guy in the store can't help you with your account. Got very heated in the store for then taking advantage of older people. Wait, so if they never had a PIN, how do they authorize access to the account? There's got to be another way, like an ID, that sort of thing. Why would they give them such a hard time?
account number works instead of PIN when working with Verizon.
Pete, I love this question.
Where do you live, King?
Exactly.
If you live in certain areas of the country, the following carriers may not have service in your area: T-Mobile, Sprint, AT&T, Verizon, Net10, U.S. Cellular. Where are you from?
Yeah, it's one of those questions. It's like, where do you travel? Where do you work? Where do you spend most of your time? Where do you live? That sort of thing. North Carolina, Pete, I could tell you Verizon is really good in North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's really good there.
T-Mobile tells me they're good there too.
Yeah, I haven't tested T-Mobile there, but
Well, Ethan from T-Mobile Team of Experts Business in Raleigh, North Carolina, who told me that you should not get a hotspot for your internet issues, told me that they have great service in that area.
Pete, you've told me that AT&T sucks in Longmont.
Yep.
No LTE?
Nope. Look on my available carriers. They're the only 3G carrier there.
So Verizon's good in Longmont?
About as good as T-Mobile.
So you picked your carrier based on where you spend most of your time,
No.
No?
I picked my carrier based on who screwed me over in the past.
See,
And
here
I lucked out, and T-Mobile became good in my
it
area.
happens to be. Gary Davis says 99.9% of Metro by T-Mobile support has a Middle Eastern accent.
Cool.
Is that in store or over the phone? Because I feel like a lot of them that are authorized dealers are like Middle Eastern owned or operated or something.
Hey, they're either Mid-Eastern or Mesoamerican in my area.
T-Mobile works well in North Carolina. Okay, that's good to know. T-Mobile is the best.
Again,
if
you're in Wyoming, Verizon's the only choice.
Yeah, that's 100% true. You look at a coverage map, you know it.
Tech for your needs. What state?
Which carrier? Yeah, which state, which carrier? T-Mobile is the best, not Sprint or Verizon.
Again, it's based on location.
Right. Raleigh areas only mid-band, bands 2 and 4. Services good outdoors, indoors not as great. They really need band 71. Sounds like it to me.
Yep.
Let T-Mobile buy Sprint PCS and Boost Mobile.
I
When was
remember
the last time Sprint was called Sprint PCS, bro?
2004.
I remember that. I remember the commercials, Sprint PCS.
Yeah, Robert, like I said, if you're in Wyoming, you have Verizon, or you're on the highway and picking up T-Mobile band 71.
Is this true?
Very. So the coverage maps are so bad. I'm getting paid to do a government study to get the correct maps.
That's pretty awesome, Pete. How's that coming along, by the way?
I start in January.
Oh, okay. So what's up? That's your next project? That's your next project?
It's my fellowship.
Verizon is the number 1 carrier for the Front Range.
T-Mobile's pretty good.
Is it true that Cricket Wireless is ran by the government? I've never heard that before.
They're AT&T.
Right. Had T-Mobile for 3 years. Last 6 months of network service has been bad. Congestion, bad indoors, bad speeds. Those are all pretty typical issues for
Also,
markets.
Metro DC has had a surge in adaptation. While I was in DC, certain hours I was getting 100 and certain hours I was getting 20.
DeAndre, I have a Verizon postpaid, a Verizon prepaid, and a T-Mobile postpaid.
He's on my T-Mobile plan.
That's that T-Mobile postpaid right there, and I really like the service, man. It's been really good.
It's amazing for the price.
I'm so surprised how far along the network has come in the last 2 years. It's so different than what I remember it.
Oh,
Seriously, Pete, I remember a lot of 3G. I remember a lot of dropped calls. I remember a lot of crackling. It's been flawless, except in the house. And I've worked around that with Wi-Fi calling and stuff. So
you also get text messages on Wi-Fi.
I do. It's freaking awesome, man.
So my biggest experience with T-Mobile over the past year is my other half's family lives in Salt Lake City. We go across Wyoming to visit them because I-70 is suicidal in Colorado. I used to have T-Mobile, then Union Telephone, no service. Now in Wyoming, I'm on 71 all the way.
That was the plan. That was T-Mobile's goal, Pete.
But I'm only on I-80, but I get coverage. I can make an emergency call. I can give family status reports, check my maps, check my email. It's nice.
Pete, I want to take a look at this question. Bobox, for you out there. What does normal LTE mean? Because I've gotten over 200 megabits per second on T-Mobile and Verizon, and that's normal LTE. But I don't really know what you mean by that. Does that mean anything that's not LAA, or does that mean anything that's not 5GE, or does that mean I don't know? What you mean by
my 7G phone is in 5GE, and I changed the little note laptop to call it 7G.
I can tell you right now, I've seen Verizon and T-Mobile both go over 200 megabits per second pretty regularly.
Best I've gotten was 120, and I don't need that on a phone.
And what's crazy, Pete, is when I was getting over 200 megabits per second, guess how much I was getting on fast.com?
6.
2.
I've never had an issue with under 10 on fast. Unless I was in my basement and only getting one cruddy band.
So, Pete, when I was doing some speed testing on the T-Mobile sim you sent me, I'll get full speed on fast.com for a few seconds, and then it drops down to 2, then it goes up to 10, then it goes down to 5.
Yeah,
it's this little teeter-totter thing, right? But
I don't buffer at 1080p. No,
you're right. I don't buffer at 1080p. So it's whatever they're doing is fast enough to keep it from buffering. It works ahead. What's that?
It keeps it 5 seconds ahead, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you're right. It does.
I get throttled to my living daylights, but I keep 1080p. By the way, that goes against your unlimited data quota.
Oh, well. All right, Pete, what else you want to cover, man? Anything else?
Well, if Craig's still around, I'm going to be sending out your gift card Tuesday.
All right, is Greg here?
Craig.
Yes. Okay, so Craig in the house. If you are in the house, we got to get you linked up with
PO box number, and I'm like, if you have a PO box, cool, but if you got one for me, that's a little obtuse. I'm not going to show up unless you invite me.
What's up, Pittsburgh fan? I don't know. Hopefully Craig can reach out to you and we figure that.
Oh, I already have his sending number. I just only have an opening Tuesday.
Here's a funny message from Michael here. Area 51, where Verizon is the only company that has services there. Oh, here's Craig.
That's not a joke. I know that they're the only ones there.
Pete, Craig's right there.
Yeah, and I'm sending him the stuff Tuesday.
All right, cool, sweet. Pete, anything else?
Something's there. No, I think we got everything.
All right, so we wanted to come on here and talk to each other, kind of have this conversation about what's going on with T-Mobile and Sprint. T-Mobile's currently at a bit of a standstill. The network is kind of at a pause in terms of network deployment. It's a wait-and-see situation. It's unfortunate. There are some contractors that aren't going to be able to get their money right away. I'm guessing T-Mobile will have them paid within 30 to 60 days.
Hopefully.
Hopefully those guys that did the work.
They generally do a lot of their payment when it starts, and then they pay more over time.
Yeah, I just honestly I want to see those people get their money. I want to see T-Mobile continue to build out, and I want to see the merger proceed. This is what I want, and everybody is different. And I think we can all agree that T-Mobile building out a network, whether you're on T-Mobile or not, is good for the market. It's good for competition. Pete's got T-Mobile. I have T-Mobile. I have Verizon. I just want the networks to be competitive, and I want my pricing, and I want my customer care, and I want a better marketplace. And that's kind of where I'm at, bro.
Hometown Custom PC says Metro needs to go out of business. Personally, I wouldn't mind if Metro was absorbed by T-Mobile prepaid proper and have the same oversight as T-Mobile prepaid proper.
Yeah, I think they got to figure out the authorized dealer issue. They just have to be more careful about what they're doing in those stores.
I've had some decent experience with T-Mobile authorized dealers.
Yeah, me too.
Some of them even call me when my order comes in.
Yeah, that's they've done a good job of that. I don't like when I hear like Metro customers getting ripped off, or used phone situations sold as new phones. That's horrible.
Hey, Rafi, I was thinking about doing that.
Keto, I don't know. I don't think bankruptcy is in the situation. Like, it's not in the near future, but
So,
wow, Harold. Wow, holy crap.
How many carriers did you get in that?
That's LAA all day, bro. There's no other way.
Yeah, that's LAA.
And it's probably a big city somewhere, Los Angeles or something.
King was asking a personal question about you, Sneed. And for those wondering, we're both American.
Indeed we are. And actually, Pete, you gotta. I'm looking now, man. I've been growing my beard for a while, and you're way ahead of me, bro.
The other half trimmed it recently.
Pete, you got one heck of a beard, man.
So I shave it off, and it comes uneven too.
Really?
But it burns, and I don't like shaving. So
I hate shaving. I hate shaving, man. But I don't like it when the whiskers go over the lip. You gotta go off to the side. Looking like Mr. Miyagi over there. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. What's up, Carl? Good to have you on. Only in America.
So see, for the last 5 minutes, Sneed is having a PC building conundrum.
Ooh, yeah. Let's talk PC.
Sneed told me, hey, I want to spend about $500 and get a future-proof PC. Right. So I helped him set up a Dell workstation with a 1.5-year-old Xeon and an NVIDIA Quattro graphics card. And Costs about $600. Somebody's telling him he's paying too much.
Well, they're telling me that I'm getting too much. Like, I don't need all of that.
You want to render 4K videos for the channel, don't you?
I do. I do.
Your Pixel 3 AL.
Yes.
Your Pixel 3A shoots
XL.
4K.
Right.
So why not quickly render 4K?
I like the idea of doing work in 4K. I want to watch 4K, obviously.
I love watching 4K.
So, you know what, Pete? I think I'm going to go your way. I'm going to go with the Xeon. I'm going to go with that setup. I think it's worth it.
I'm actually a little envious of your setup.
Well, I'm going to be spending about $600.
And I'll be throwing a Windows 10 Pro license at you on May.
Sweet. All right, Pete. I thought we were going to be on for an hour. We're already pushing an hour and a half. So I think what we'll do is one more thing. I saw this comment from Sean Staley. Said, what do you guys think about every carrier's approach to 5G?
Verizon needs more mid-band. T-Mobile needs more mid-band. Sprint needs to be a carrier, and AT&T's in a good position.
Yeah, AT&T's got it going on. They've got the most balanced approach to 5G. Verizon is literally insane if they think they're going to put millimeter wave everywhere.
Well, you could get, if you want to, millimeter wave coast to coast, you're going to get rural internet because you need
fiber.
You need fiber.
Yeah.
And you need a small cell every quarter mile and one every tree.
Yeah. I mean, flat helps.
Yeah, but you have trees in some places
and rain.
Oh, and you know those crop watering apparatus? That will kill your battery.
Bro, you ain't getting no 5G. We're watering plants. We got crops to grow and whatnot.
We got crops to grow. We got people to feed. 5G's not coming through.
So AT&T's in a good place. Verizon is tripping.
Yep.
Sprint
needs to be a carrier.
And T-Mobile needs the merger. So
T-Mobile needs more spectrum.
So if they were to get some of that C-band, and if Pete, is it possible they do something with Dish?
They might have to.
It's a possibility, man. Q1 of 2020, merger fails. I mean, who knows?
They get us what is it? IoT bands Dish have been hoarding.
Yeah.
Maybe they absorb Dish if it fails.
Because Dish has low and mid.
Yep.
They don't have any type of national 5G millimeter wave.
They also have TV deployment.
Pete, isn't that all running through, is it 500?
500 what?
Megahertz?
The TV?
Or is it 400?
Some of it's 400, but these days on satellite, most of it's fiber to whatever home or junction box.
Oh, okay. So that's high capacity stuff. Okay.
On satellite, if you want on demand, you need broadband. Because the satellite dishes will not give you on-demand content.
Not true. That's not true about T-Mobile. T-Mobile's really, really good in my city, and my city's not a big city. My city's a...
And Cox kicked them off. T-Mobile is on band 71. Absolutely amazing in most places I've encountered. The worst location I've encountered T-Mobile band 71 was at this Motel 6 in Murad, Southern Dakota. For some reason, I can't get it through the walls. I could sit in my car, but it was middle of summer, get good 12 megs down, which is enough to watch an HD video and make a phone call. rest of the way up through Southern Dakota, Wisconsin, Ohio, Illinois, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, DC. I had coverage.
Bro, I think StreamYard's starting to give me a hard time now. I don't want to risk getting cut off again. We're gonna have to kind of cut it short, I guess, at an hour and a half if that's possible. But let's go ahead and do some thank yous, Pete. I'll let you go ahead and start with your thank yous.
Thank you to AT&T for outsourcing their Who's on Our Spectrum listening to a company in India. I wouldn't be making money without your decisions.
Nice. I want to thank Pete for being on tonight. Thanks for being here, buddy.
I'd like to thank us. Asad Bakery for some delicious beef shawarma.
Yeah, big shout out to Asad's Bakery. That's home of the perfect pita and the shaken shawarma.
The hummus is great too.
Yeah, good food, man. If you're ever in the CLE, check out Asad's Bakery. Best food in the town. All right, I want to give a big shout out to my moderators. Big shout out to Rafi for holding it down with the big wrench. Thanks, Rafi. Big shout out to who else had moderating duties tonight? I didn't see Jamaal, but I did see another moderator. I'm trying to remember who it was. What is it?
Mikey
Tech Reviews was in the house. Yeah, earlier he was. So thank you guys for taking care of business there. Thank you to all the subscribers. Thank you to all of the viewers. Thank you to the commenters on the channel. Thank you for those who provided super chats. Much appreciated. All your donations and gestures of support are greatly appreciated. I'd love it if you guys could please like this video if you haven't done so already. Make sure that you are subscribed. More videos like this, as well as other updates, going on in the wireless space, the T-Mobile and Sprint merger, networks, all that great stuff. So big shout out to the replay gang. Got to give a shout out to the replay crew.
We have more likes than viewers.
Hey, that's fantastic. Thank you guys for being here to watch. I think that's pretty much it, Pete. Is there anything that I forgot?
Are we gonna go on a bandwagon with 100 like giveaways?
Well, we got to do the one to Craig, so we got to take care of that one first. Then we'll talk about the next one.
So, thank you so much for the 101 likes. Thanks, guys are amazing. We also have 0 dislikes, which means we're even better.
Wait, so where's the one hater who always hits the dislike button?
Give us the memo.
All right, great. Thank you guys for being here. Check out the newest video I just uploaded. It covers the topics we discussed today. Much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. I think we'll leave it at that.
Craig will get your card out Tuesday using the United States Postal Service. Hopefully get it by Friday.
Yeah, and we'll get you guys amped up and ready for the next giveaway. We'll keep you tuned in on that. Thank you guys for watching. On behalf of Pete, I am the SMT, and we'll see you guys on the next podcast and the next video. Peace.
Peace.